I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is April 24th, Thursday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So like we said yesterday, one of the options here, coming in for the sell into the gap. They did it dirty. I made an extreme example of what I would love for it to come to do. I did talk about coming into this low, the opening range gap, and coming into here. They didn't do it. They just came and they tagged in there. And then this same idea is still in flow to do what? To come and wipe out all the liquidity to the left here. And obviously the previous week high. Right now you can see it as an orange level. Right now I'm going to show you it's green on my green on this line right here. So it's on top of it. So real smooth. I'm gonna make this video is gonna be really easy. So as you see, just sweeping that low, not coming in here, not fair delivery, just ramming this area because they're in a rush here at this point. They're in a rush to get this liquidity. Plus we built that yesterday. So that just pretty much frames the day. As you see the opening range, we come and we tap to the tick. The first standard deviation to the below it, and then off to the races, higher highs and higher lows, real smooth structure, and it's a birdie day. So in birdie days, go study any birdie day. I've seen a million of them, so and I'm sure you have too. But you understand that this is going to be like higher highs and higher lows. So again, they're framing the day already by sweeping this in London. Right here. So if you watched yesterday's video, I literally told you when I was in this sell from here, I want to come down to the 50%, which is the opening range gap. I have the 2 to 2.5. Can you see that? Let me see if I can do that. Yeah. See that? Right there. Oh shit. Oh shit. The 2 right there. See that too? See there's the 2 right there. See if I can make it highlight. Sometimes it highlights when you click away. Oh, you see that? All right, look at the 2 right there. Look how it's right by that first standard deviation. Obviously sweeping that, but this is a minimum goal. Obviously, I would love for it to come in here, but they're not doing that. They already push up, and now the price is here at 930. Where is the other red flags or green flags of it going up? You have structure here. This high, this low, then you bust above again for another higher high and a higher low. This is also an inversion. Don't get confused. there's an inversion here. You'll see it on the 1 hour. Oh, it's a little hard to see. I know, man, because the pink here. But if I move this over, you'll see the pink. It's right there in between these candles right here. You can see that we are tapping that right there. It's pretty much a switch. It's a support resistance. And they're using that today's gap as well. It's in red, so it's not a lot of shit on here. It's just it looks like that, but we understand that we want to see algorithmic structure moving up. In general speaking, even if I had nothing on the chart, it's just higher highs and higher lows. So as you see, we're coming back. What do we have here? Let me fix this back up. So as you see, well, I don't need to. I'm gonna move it over so you can see it, right? So we swept that, and then we have this structure here. So 930 is now here, and that's why it's another, as just like the last 2 days of buying, same entry method here. We have a 1 minute imbalance here. You can see it. You can't see it on the 5 minute too well, but it's generally structure, and it's just one. It's really on the 1 minute clean, but this is the structure. We're coming from down here to up here. All this mess, all this is bullshit. Everything in between is bullshit. So we pop up and then they use this as support. But remember, I'm mentioning to you, we have the daily gap in the red right there. You see that? And the red in the background. And then we have the pink right there. This is that inversion that I'm dragged out, higher time frame. But this is the structure. Let's look at it like this. And you can even use this as fanning up here too. But we made a new high. So that's the higher low. After sweeping that guy just a little bit, and then we pop up. Now 930 does this. See how we're above here? And then we retrace back very simply. Let's zoom in and look at it. You can see right? You can see very simply that it's just bouncing on that. Look at there's no bodies inside that imbalance. Using with the gap, you have to include that. And then we're just tagging it. Also the opening range, top 25%. And then it just does this, comes up. Let me try to make it a little cleaner. And then retraces right there. Pushes up. Okay, now in a birdie day, you're going to get this type of structure. So it's all move one, right? You're not getting one, then pull back two, which you could, but why? Because look to the left here, up here. We already, I'm sorry, here. We've been up and down and forth here, right? So we're not looking for structure inside. And if it is, it's a birdie structure, which means that they're very small ranges and they're higher highs and higher lows and they're tight. Down candles are respecting. So, even if I do this, just simple, this does this. All right, you can see it. Now it's support. We pop up. That's now higher high. That's higher low. That's a nice 61 on the fib. You also have an inversion right there. I already got it highlighted with an imbalance coupled. You see we dip right into it. And then this is another high. That's a higher low to a new higher high. Get some leg, drives up. Now as you see, we're bouncing algorithmically on that top 25% of that gray gap. This is like as beautiful as it can get. Now you're not, as you notice, we're blowing right through the 25%. We're blowing right through the 50%, right? You see, we just blow right through it. We get here to the top 75%. Now they're kind of respecting it. You see, now it's working. It's bounces right there first, right? Bounces first, then bounces again right here. But this is just a higher low to a higher high. It's retracing back, and getting some internal liquidity. But nice fib again. So 61 right there on the fib. These are all, well, not all. Sorry, let me rephrase that. We have already got, see how we're not coming back down? It's locked. So it's like it just birdies up, and it just constantly stays higher lows and buying up. And then again right here. So we bounce again on the 25%, on the top 75%, whatever you want to call it, and then we push up a new high. All right, and then what do? We retrace back down, a little deep, but we're using this imbalance right there in blue. See how we bounce right there, and then real quick I'll show you in a second. We sweep that, and then but it's still the higher low. So you would say this is deep, like almost past a 79, damn near, right? But it's probably at a 79. And then what do? Well, now we're boom right to the target, and then let me do this real quick. New high is probably coming, unless it sinks right there. But look at this flow. Okay, look at the flow. That's a birdie day. You can go back test this, and in any really bullish scenario, just like this. This was a little different too, but we're gonna close at the top. It's a classic buy day, is what I'm saying. We're opening up, manipulation, accumulation of sells here, and then the manipulation coming down, and then we come rip it up for London and New York, and you get the expansion after 10 o'clock. Time is involved. I could do this all day, as you know. But the way you handle this day is you understand this, right, already in play, and them being dirty. There's proof that this is dirty, obviously, right? Not getting back to that guy. See that guy that got screwed over right there? He's assed out still. So, but the framework and the bigger picture is what this is, right? So we've already came down here. Stopped, and then we pushed all the way up to here. So we've done all that today, right? Okay, so in the birdie days, you can see again, as you can see that structure that I drew. You can see respect. Look at the bodies all respecting on top of that gap as well, in between 928 and 929. See that? We got the first imbalance that we made today. Obviously, good sign that it's not going to be visited, obviously, if we're hunting liquidity up there. And then let me push this daily bearish imbalance real quick. Again, as you can see, we came at 50%, slightly missed the two, but really that low, they wanted to sweep that. Nice. Look at this. Look at it's the same level, buddy. Same level. That standard deviation down one. Perfect. Oversold. Whatever. Rushing up to 3/3 standard deviation up. 1, 2, 3. Right. What's there? Oh, we got a gap. Nice. Right. What's the purpose of us coming up here? Let me go back to this again. I'm putting my target. So I was involved here, and then this was my finale here. This buy where you see this, you can see where we swept, right? See that? Yeah, I should go more in depth. Sorry if you can't see it sometimes. Perfect there, 50% sweep. They're just accumulating the shorts, but this is to scare people out. And then gone, and then boom, right to that green level that I got. I'm literally screenshotting it right here on this candle. Donezo. No more for the day. The day is pretty much done. I'm not looking for higher lows again. It's just that's too risky. You're all the way up here. But the purpose of being able to catch any of these trades with these higher lows for here is because there is the target. Now, as you see, I got highlighted this level here. Now, I know that we have that high, and that's the weekly high, but this is a minimum target. This is me not being greedy. This is just like right here, no difference. This is me being fair with them, not what I want to happen, but what they're going to do. And that would be the same logic. Take the motherfucking trade out. But here, I'm taking it out right there. Obviously, I know we can go higher. Why? Because look to the left. We got an imbalance right there. We have the gap. These are daily gaps, right? And this gap right here, this level here, I was gonna hold it for that level instead of that level, because I know once we tag this level, we're probably gonna get that level. I wanted to hold it for here and or 50%, which is where we're sitting at right now, actually. Coincidentally, not coincidence. We also have that gap right there. Look at algorithmically, you can see that. Come on, man. You can see that once we got above this gray gap that's quadded, we're up. We're dancing on it. We're dancing on it, right? Just trying to be incognito. A little speaker here, but really that's the higher low, higher high. Got 4 drives up there. This is still deep, not deep, but like the range from here to here is still kind of up here, and then this is the retracement. They take out an internal guy, leave that guy alone. Could have took him, but they didn't. But the purpose is you're sitting on here where, because now the algorithm, they're trying to come back just to get some of the people that are late buying here. All right. And then also before I continue, well, you know what? Okay, so higher lows and sitting on here and then pushing up where? Right to that gap. Boom. Right to that gap. And look what the time. Now macro 250's in. It's gonna start coming down and taking out liquidity and rushed right to where? Well, that's so random, right? Right to back to that gap. So if you can't see, if you got to be able to see this algorithmically, you can see that, right? As you can see here, that inversion right there with the bullish candle dipped, takes out that little guy right there, see, on purpose. So this is from here to here to here is a 61, took out internal. Here to here to here is a 61. Look how they don't take out that guy, but they really snap right to that 25, the top 75%, whatever it is. It's the top 75%. Yeah, technically. So, anyways, yeah, fire, man. And then, okay, we're back in the gap. So shouldn't be too much difficult to explain here. And then just a birdie day, and not much help here. Everything's just really flowing. Right there is a nice divergence here with I don't think they did take them out, right? Yeah. So right there with this low here, you can see we have a lower high. I'm sorry, lower low with Dow, and then boom, 930. It's already 930. Pushes up, gone. So and then you had a nice divergence again. Let me do it. Let me just move it. And then you had a divergence with these candles here, with Dow again, with these. See these bottom. See that bottom tweezer bottoms right there. We got lower lows with S&P and Dow. I'm sorry, Nas. They take out that previous, higher low right there. Beautiful. All right, and then dollar. And then I was mentioning, so dollar did not. It stopped at this gap, right? So we didn't. I didn't see dollar pop up into here, right? And if that was the case, that would be giving me a more idea to come down again. But because dollar came down back into here, that was kind of like the catalyst to push us up as well. And then as you can see, Dow, this is an algorithmic divergence in a way. Dow again, so they come in, and Dow is more fair, right? I don't trade Dow though, but they came in and they bounced on that previous 2-day low, so Tuesday's high. I'm sorry, right? Tag that, right? But take a look at S&P, also a little more fair, but obviously not. They didn't come in at even at 50%. So the top 25% is in play, or the top 50% is in play. Rushing for what? Previous day's high. Remember they tagged their week high yesterday. Obviously now we're coming into here. Oh, and what's right there? Well, we have a breakout level here. We came to kind of test that here, right? We fell short of it, right? So that's a previous month's low right there. This is March. This is March's low. So we're probably gunning right for that. And then you also have that gap right there, which I can draw now because I mentioned it a while ago, but I didn't draw it because we weren't in the area yet. But where should I do this? This is the actual gap here. And then what's not filled is right here. This top 50% of it. So I'm going to drag that out. You can see we're going to go probably to that. We got a gap right there. And what are we doing here? Well, we have lower low, and this is not the lower high, obviously. Even in a bearish economy, it's not a lower high. You see the gap on the daily right there. Pretty much like a support resistance. But you see we keep coming, people are selling here, right, as lower highs and as resistance, so to speak, to come lower. But you see they keep coming back up, and they're trying to stop those guys from winning. And what's most likely going to happen is we're going to fan out, right? We're going to fan out and then get closer, inch our way up into like that guy right there, for example, and that guy in here. Because they're, when they fan up, when I mean fan up, I mean something like this, right? So it's like, I don't know, let's just say something like this. And by then, we might be at a conversation for a lower high. And then we kind of, come back and rush down here if we're in that really bearish situation. The thing is with this is this, of the tariffs and all what's going on, him screaming buy over down here and all that. The thing is that we drop down deep all too fast. So there is so much time in the year, to be honest. And is this maybe going to be the best buys you can get in this AI generation even? I mean, we don't need to go there, and it could be, I don't care. But right now it's obviously in a bullish or retracement regardless how you look at it, right? Because we're not down here. We're still up here, right? Like if we were supposed to be, if that was a protected lower high, we should have been rolling down here instead of higher high, higher low here. We should be lower low, lower high there, right? So we're not getting that. So okay, so you don't fight it. You understand. Just so you know, I mean, this trade alone right here, that I took at the end of the day is just beautiful, because you can wait for all this mess and let all this pass by, but then you got this algorithmic motion and this birdie higher, higher, higher low. This higher low to this target is a minimum. Again, I could have raised that target, higher into here or wherever. But this was that liquidity from the previous week, and that's it. I mean, the day after this, it's like, fuck, well, you want to be fucking around here. But if you get time involved, you got 250 there, and that's beautiful and nice trade to come down and, whatever. But as you see, the day has been done since I hit this level. So, what I'm saying? Like, yeah, beautiful, man. Just showing strength, sitting on the top 25% opening range gap. Also, and that we got too much confluence. look how when they all nest with each other, it becomes like that level. Anyways, let me drag over this daily imbalance real quick, just so you can see it. We also have. I'm gonna delete this 1 hour inversion that I just deleted. It's not that necessary, but you can see that if I was to quad this bearish daily, let me see if I can move this over. Let me just move that over. Again, remember, let me move this over again too. Remember, we were underneath it and we tagged that bottom. And then that's the low right there. But yeah, let me move this over. Let me see if I can. Oh, look at that shot. Look at that shoot straight up. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, right there on the market close, 401, bogus. And where do you think they got? Right there above that high. See how they just slammed right there up there? Equal highs here, and that was the draw on the liquidity, right? See that? So, and they just snapped right above this. So, well, they beat me to it because I was going to tell you tomorrow that's what we're going to do if we didn't do it right now. So, let me go back to this real quick just so I can. So, let me move this. Let me move this over, and then let me move this, and then up to here, and let's see what the quadding looks like here. Hopefully I can not make this dirty. It's not perfect, so alright, don't get lost here. I'm just quadding this area. It's not going to be perfect. I don't got time to do it perfect, but see how we came in. So okay, now I'm quadding just the bearish imbalance. Yes, I have the gray gap quadded, but here also coming to a 25% of it. All right, we're playing. You see how we're playing around? No, you don't even need the candles. See how we're coming around? See how we're bouncing right on top of that. We come to the 50, blow right through it as well. So super heavy. Again, blowing through here, and then if I was to take a look at the high here, you can see that this bullish imbalance is sitting right on top. All the bodies, all the price action is just sitting right on top of there. It's not random. It wasn't that important for me to show you that, but I just want you to see that as well, and then we'll see if how we use it later. I'm going to drag this back, but also the first imbalance from yesterday right here. Remember, we took that sell and held it down into here. When you're coming up here, it's also a target. You can see that. Look at everything else. Just the solid candles locked. You can put your stop loss after every kind of candle. But when you get here, you can see that, oh, wow, you will get into that imbalance, and we are using it as a support and a next phase to push up, and then they do that nicely. So this is obviously today's present imbalance. But anyways, so yeah, anyways, long story short, the objective is to sweep all this, and this is what I have been saying pretty much since down here even. But again, giving you options of being bearish. I mean, this obviously looks like it's bullish, right? So and their agenda is here. So pretty beautiful. And then 2 to 2.5. I'm missing something here. So we just passed this 2 to 2.5. I measured this. I said yesterday. I measured this right here. These consecutive down candles here, but that's a blue one right here. So if I wanted to fix this a little bit, I can pick either the daily candle, or I'll use, which is funny. I can do this with the 50, not 50, with the with this day of Monday. That would be the high and the low of the day. Before we gap down up here, and then you can see 1 on 1.5. Obviously the logic is coming up. So if that's the case, and this is pretty much the measurement here, you can see what I mean by fanning up. Now we're going to get into the 2 to 2.5 up here, and that's because of this. Where is the inefficiency and liquidity stacked? Well, that's liquidity, and then that's the inefficiency, and now we're digging into it now, right? So with this projection fixing, you can see the 2 to 2.5. Oh, look at the 2. 2 is real close to this 50% of that imbalance. We got that 4 level right there, coming in there. But again, to fan up and come up in here to get in some of this right here from Trump's drop initially. This wick right here, these up candles. Anyone, someone blind is pushing sell here. You know what I mean? So that's my logic of now kind of coming up and fanning up. If we make it that high to then before maybe come down for some liquidity from today, or even the gap to come back. I'm not saying that this is over with. This should be purple here. I don't want to draw it right now because I already got a purple here and a gap here, but I want to still show this that it might not be over. But as far as this week goes, I don't know. I don't see Friday coming back into it. I think Friday is going to just be like a really push up to get into this situation here. Tap this imbalance again, which we're not too far from it. You can quad that. I'm not going to do it, but you can quad that as well. So the 25% here, look at that. See that blue candle, and then we bust right down, probably hitting that. That's a nice area to get to while we're still moseying up. I mean, I'm not interested in the market at this real moment because of the fact that it's going to be very fickle here. And then it's like, it's over with already. It's like the day's done and then possibly week. But, okay, so now that I've said that, look, they snapped right to that low right there. See, that's resistance, support resistance. See that breakout level? Bink, we're going to be testing this area to probably still even come back down. We're going to see how this flow works for as 2022. That's the difference between 22 and this year. I would say is not as elaborate structure as you see. This all happened in 1 year. Oh, actually, the first 3 quarters, and then October it turned around. But here we got down so far so quickly, and it being fucking April, that it could be very strange here. I'm still looking for the similar idea of lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. But with this might be your first lower low. I'm going to draw my own real quick just to give the idea. Well, let's just do it like this. This could be what's happening right now. We come up to even that resistance right there. There's a gap. Some of this wick right here, we squeeze in. It might even take that out. I've seen it come a little higher. Maybe just tap right there and then fall. And then maybe come back. See that? And then we might even, either we go straight up or, we might even really, this is extreme. I don't see how that's going to happen. But, and then, you know what I'm saying? But again, not that serious of understanding ideas right now. It's great to have them though. But as you see, we're trying to slam these support resistance retail sellers right here, and then we can start moseying on our way up to the overbought here on the daily, and then that would kind of let you know kind of when we're done pushing up. If you look on the daily here, we're still knocking on that 50. Do they want to, you end up pushing up higher to get up here, which then pushes up higher here. God knows where they will stop here. Just now, instead of studying 22, go do your research on 23, if that makes sense for you here. Like if you start getting, let's just say we've already pulled back and you're pushing up. Not saying that we are going to be in crazy bullish, but like if you look at, this type of leg is what I'm saying, like a leg like that, right? Where we push up. A leg like this right here. See this before we pull back. Just study that, and it'd probably be. It might be very similar. It depends, but on the other hand, I feel like it's going to be a little choppier than beautiful like that. But we'll see. But I can see him easily pushing up in here Friday, coming back down. Maybe we don't, and then if you look at the week. the actual candle week, let's just say we push up higher, and then, now we're looking for a retracement back to, let's just say the week stopped like right now. I'm not saying it is, but then, um, Friday pushes it back down to the 20% to 40% range inside, and gives it less body, and it's just a wick up there. It depends. It depends how high they push up. Let's just say they even went. Let's just say they went like this, right? Like they came up this high for Friday, and then they retrace back into the 20 to 40%. Now, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to say it'll probably close and stay up high, right? So then the next week can maybe just Monday be the high of the week, and then we come back down in as high resistance, and then maybe get back to this gap somehow. We'll see. But I made a joke yesterday and said, watch them not come down in here and seal this gap. And then a month later from now, or however long later from now, we're going to say, look, remember when they fucked us on this gap and we kept pushing up? I said that yesterday. You got to listen to me carefully yesterday. But I hope this is not too much. Let me take that off. And so I've already gave my ideas. Damn, it's already 30 minutes, bro. You see here at when I was talking about yesterday, jumping into that imbalance, that you possibly have liquidity up here and to come higher, but the goal was to come down yesterday into here. If that was the case, and you can see that's matching with this gap right here, 50% of that, I don't even have to draw, you can see it. It's possible that we buy back up to keep going up, and that's what this example is. So that obviously for here, that would mean that we're, you see these, well, obviously the high we made yesterday, and then that liquidity there. Now, do we want to push up more and get into this imbalance? If it gets into it, I would say it's less heavier to sell. If it falls short, then that would mean that we're more bearish. If we use this imbalance as a support, then it's possible that we might be rushing up back into here to then get into this objective because of the imbalance, right? You see that in the breakout level. You see how we tested it there. I mean, that was an easy sell right there. Same level. So I'm trying to say, if we fanning up here and then drop. So let me make the examples. If I could do this. Ooh. Okay, so we've done this, I've been calling the market for a very long time. Not only do I need a vacation, but I'm kind of tired of making videos. But let's just say two options here. We just took that out, and let's just say we're bearish, okay? Maybe we sweep again, and then we literally fall back down, okay? So there, if I'm talking about selling first, okay? So that's option one. Option two, maybe we come up up into here. All right. And then roll back over. Okay. So there's that. That's option for selling. If we're buying, still obviously, then we just keep going up. I mean, it just keeps going up, rushing for, something like this. All right. That's option one for buying. And then if we're buying and we get a little retrace back, which I doubt, I mean, I don't know, who knows, doing something like this. And then that's pretty much it. But tomorrow's Friday, so it doesn't really matter. I think I've said enough here. I've talked about all that, right? Am I missing something? I know I missed something yesterday. I knew I did. This measurement. Oh, so I'm measuring there to there, and then you can also possibly measure it from here to here. Wait, here. Yeah. So from here to here, coming into the 101.5, a lot of room up top. Or you might be able to do it here, because that's really the swing high, the swing low. Everything is kind of pointing up into here in a way, right? So probably, let's see what Asia London does. But classic buy day, and you don't fight it. You just buy the higher lows. Coming for the targets up there. And I think I'm missing something. Real close to 4 standard. I'm missing something, man. What am I missing? Let me do this since we're here. I'm gonna just say here for now. Yeah, not a coincidence, right? So, and that's why when I said the sell, it's possible that we stop from here, right? And then sell off hard for the 20 to 25 to 40% of the week. If this is Thursday, if Thursday is the high of the week, right? Just ideas here. I feel like there's something else I'm fucking missing. Goddamn. Goddamn. I'm measuring this whole swing back down. Look where one is. Very close to that too. I don't know, just talking. Again, not interested in the market anymore right now. So we've accomplished a lot. So this is going to be, this gap here is going to be fucking interesting. How they do it. Yeah, man, I feel like this is good. I like coming up there. I like coming up here and rolling over. So I made that option already, didn't I? Where I say, yeah, we fan up here and then fucking roll back over or something. I like this. All right, we'll see. Damn, missing something. 36 minutes. Shit. You guys take care. God bless.